Good morning. I am Carter Rohan, the Deputy Executive Director for the SFMTA. I'm pleased to welcome you to the celebration of the completion of the California and Powell Line cable car projects, which saw the California cable car line down for 6 months this year. And spring, the Powell lines were down for 3 different shutdowns. The California Line project was a comprehensive upgrade of the street between Drum, where we stand this morning, and Van Ness. The project was a collaboration with Department of Public Works and the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, both of which made multiple improvements to the infrastructure of this street in coordination with cable car improvements. We are joined today by DPW Director Ed Riskin and the SFPUC General Manager Ed Harrington. The businesses and communities surrounding the cable car lines were real partners with us, of course. This required close coordination to keep clear the lines of communication, and we're pleased to be joined today here at the cable car turnaround by members of various merchant associations, neighborhood and civic groups, as well as downtown management organizations. The cooperation of these various entities has been critical to the success of these projects. We are also honored to have with us this morning Mayor Edwin Lee to kick off the celebration. Mayor Lee.
Good morning. I know the sun's not out, but we could still be awake. I want to thank all of you for coming today on this reopening. And I wanted to let you know that I'm excited to join Board President David Chu here, who is a cable car rider from day one that he arrived. Also President of our SFMTA, Tom Nolan, and also the departments that have worked so closely with Nat Ford and the whole team in doing not only this project, but you know, it's been 27 years since there's been a major overhaul of our cable car system. And with Nat's leadership, along with Carter's and SFMTA's leadership, we wanted to make sure that this system, if we're going to invite people to ride halfway to the stars, it better be a safe ride. And we want to make sure that the system is safe, that it gets a renewal in its cables, in its brackets, in its slots, in its take rope gypsies. You'll hear about these details as you talk with the cable car operators. I want to thank them for their patience, for the maintenance people on this whole system. They're a wonderful group of people that are very dedicated to something that's part of our $8 billion tourism, a very key part. And very, very soon you'll see the lines drawn up here of people that want to take this cable car on a daily basis, the wonderful tourists, but also the residents who find this to be a fantastic local way of enjoying themselves. When we redid this cable car system, we did a number of things that I thought were very, very smart and smartly done by the collaboration with our departments. We had our Ed Harrington and the SFPUC do what it could to identify all the various locations in our sewer system that can be worked on. That's very smart, while this cable car system was down for 6 months. We had Ed Riskin and DPW and their engineers working to repave streets and redo the curb ramps for ADA access for some 17 blocks between Van Ness and Drum Street. That's smartly done. And then on top of this cable car redo, we had the Powell-Mason and the Powell-Hyde Street parts of the cable car system redone as well. We had work done at the cable car barn that would focus on the control systems, Carter, that were very essential to running this system, making sure the propulsion system was adequately restored. So all in all, we've done this very smartly. The main thanks today is to the residents and the businesses who were very, very patient in making sure that all of the construction that was being done, that they tolerated, that they were impacted about this, but they tolerated it because they know at the very end it's going to be a blessing to have the cable cars run smoothly. I also want to thank the operators and the maintenance people at Muni, because they're very important to helping us understand and run this system well, and they are a part of a great, great system that we have in San Francisco to be very proud of. And it just goes to show that as we reinforce the system, as we make sure that the cable car system improvement project is not only underway well, that we also take care of the other infrastructures that we have alongside of it. That's why not only is this project successful in many ways, and it's coordinated and collaborated with the other departments well, but we also want to make sure that the voters know that that's the way we're going to approach the street bond that we have, that we will have the board vote on very soon, that we'll place on the November ballot, a $248 million bond program to make our streets that much more improved. It's a smart way to invest in our infrastructure. You don't want to wait the 27 years if there is challenges in these streets as we have for our 850 miles of streets now. Half of them are deteriorated. They need attention, and we want to make sure they're given the appropriate attention. So we'll be sponsoring that kind of infrastructure work as well with the leadership of DPW, as well as all the other agencies that will work together to make sure that whenever we do these roads, we will collaborate and make sure all the other infrastructure departments pay attention to their infrastructure at the same time. But with that, I want to welcome in this great cable car improvement and have a great chance of cutting the ribbon and make sure now that the lines will start reworking itself for all of the tourists and all the users of the great cable car system. Thank you very much.
Also, we have with us, it's an honor, President David Chu has joined us. President Chu, would you like to say a few words?
Good morning. This is a great day for San Francisco, for our residents, our merchants, our tourists, and everyone who has been riding our cable cars since 1873. There are many folks today to thank, but I want to first thank the three amazing Eds in San Francisco City Government: the head of our DPW, Ed Riskin, the head of the PUC, Ed Harrington, and of course, our great mayor, Mayor Ed Lee. As Mayor Lee mentioned, from literally the very first day that I lived in San Francisco, I have taken our cable cars. It is one of my favorite ways of getting around my district. And for many of my constituents and my merchants, it is an incredibly special institution. The cable cars were invented here in San Francisco. They are part of what is iconic about our city. They are part of what makes our hills and our neighborhoods so memorable. And so when I heard that we had to actually close down the cable cars for a period of time, I have to admit, as an elected official, I panicked a little bit. And I certainly heard of a lot of concerns raised by neighbors up and down the cable car lines who have to rely on these lines every day of the week to get to where they need to go. And I'm so pleased that this project happened as flawlessly as it did. I look forward to getting back up on this cable car line. And I look forward to making sure that with all of you, we are investing in our transit, we're investing in our infrastructure, so that something that was invested in 1873 will be able to be part of our great city for hopefully centuries to come. Thank you very much.
Okay, we also have with us, he's not an Ed, but he is very amazing, our board chair, Tom Nolan.
Thank you very much. Didn't that cable car bell sound good? I mean, that is what says San Francisco quite as much as the ringing of the cable car bell. So I want to say special thanks to our colleagues in the DPW and the PUC. I think people really appreciate when departments work well together, and this is a terrific example of that, and hopefully that's the way we'll keep going in the future. One thing in my notes that said that 8 million people ride the cable cars every year. 8 million people. That's an awful lot of people. A lot of people from San Francisco, business people, residents here, and of course visitors. And we're just delighted this is back and running today. My notes say that we've replaced conduits, pulley brackets, and switches. If anybody wants an explanation of what those are later, just ask me, and Carter will tell you the answer to that. But the infrastructure is often neglected in projects. People like to see things that you can actually see. It's great. But what makes it work is the infrastructure. So on behalf of my colleagues on the SFMTA Board of Directors, thank you all for a job very well done. Okay, Mr.
Okay, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask the heads of the two departments that actually spearheaded the great coordination that went on with this work. I would like to call up Ed Riskin first, Department of Public Works. Ed?
Thank you, Carter. This mayor, from his time as city administrator and moving on to his time as mayor, has encouraged and directed strong collaboration between all the different departments of the city. When we can work together to coordinate and collaborate on the planning, design, and construction of the major projects like this in our right-of-way, it's not just about us working nicely together. It actually saves time and it saves money. And as importantly, it minimizes the disruption to the public. On a street like California Street that has such an essential function in our city, that is such a prominent street, that has so much happening on it, the ability of us to be able to do that, to minimize disruption, to get the work done and save money in the process is all the more important. Our role in this project, we got 17 streets repaved or reconstructed, as the mayor said, and 80 curb ramps built up and down the length of California. So it's not only a smoother and safer street, it's much more accessible for the many thousands and millions of people who travel upon it. We worked hard to minimize disruption during this project, but anytime you're tearing up the public rights of way, there's going to be some noise, there's going to be some traffic impacts, there's going to be some path of travel impacts on the sidewalks, but we worked very hard to keep that to a minimum. So I want to thank the folks who worked on this project, the designers, the resident engineers, the contractor, but also thank the residents, the merchants, the hotels, the visitors, the many people who had to put up with this. Thank you for your patience, because it was a significant amount of work that we got done for the city. And I just want to say finally, with regard to being able to join forces with the other city departments to get this work done, to leverage our collective resources, save time and money, we want to do a lot more of that. We take every opportunity we can to partner with other city departments, to partner with other utilities, but we're only able to do so to the extent that our resources allow. So the mayor mentioned the streets bond that we hope to see on the ballot this November. If that were to get on the ballot and were to be approved, we would have a lot more resources to do a lot more of that kind of coordination and get a lot more of our infrastructure improved here in San Francisco. So thank you very much, and congratulations to the SFMTA on their great work to get this project done.
And of course, last but certainly not least, Ed Harrington from the San Francisco Public Utility Commission. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I love cable cars. I've been a judge of the cable car contest, bell ringing contest, for a number of years. I love being part of this, so I had to come down today, even though the PUC really is a fairly small part of this. I started at the city 27 years ago on this project, the major rebuild of the cable car system in San Francisco, and back then it was an unusual thing to have PUC and Muni, water, wastewater, all of those people come together and build up the same streets and not come back and tear up and tear up. Now it's part of how we do business. It's part of what the mayor and Ed Riskin are talking about. Whenever we have a possibility of doing some work in the streets, we all get together, figure out how to do it together, and have as little disruption to the people of San Francisco as possible. Great to be part of this. Thank you so much for the teamwork on this, and welcome everybody.
All right, how about that? We would be remiss if we didn't also thank the operators and the cable car division staff that not only have provided this lovely backdrop for today's event, but they also provide the great California Line service that's been running behind you, but who also have been instrumental in ensuring continuous service even on buses along the cable car lines during the shutdowns, and communicating the project plans to our customers who they transport every day. I also want to acknowledge the project teams for the cable car improvement projects and thank them for their diligence in helping San Francisco maintain this important infrastructure. Thank yous also go out to the Hyatt Regency, you see behind you, Ghirardelli Chocolates, and all of SFMTA staff for making this great project a success. As a National Historic Landmark, the cable cars are part of our legacy as a city. The projects that improve their mechanics help us ensure that they are in great repair for future generations. Thank you. I believe we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony now.